Let's talk about loaning money to your children. For example, there's a sale going on for the video game upgrade, and you want your child to pay for it, but they don't have the money right now, and so you want to take advantage of the sale, and so you might say, "Okay, I'll upfront you the money, but then you owe me, and you'll need to pay me back." That is dangerous, and I want to explain why it's dangerous. Uh, and um, and because I want you to understand that this money concept can create a barrier between you and your child. You don't want to hinder the relationship that you have with your child. In fact, the idea here comes from Proverbs chapter 22, verse 7, which illustrates the principle quite well. It says, "The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender." Here's the principle. As soon as you loan money to your children, then they are your debtor. You are the creditor, and they owe you money. So it puts this pressure on the relationship that you don't want to have, because now you're sucked into their financial irresponsibility. That's always a danger. Whether your children are adult children or your children are young, you want to be very careful about loaning money to kids. Better just give them the money than to loan the money, because you don't want to damage or put pressure on the relationship that exists. It is often tempting for us as parents to want to give children things or loan them money so they can have benefits that they haven't yet saved the money to earn. But it would be better if children would learn how to save up money, be independent in their finances, so that they save up the money and then they're able to purchase the product. There's so much debt in our culture today because of this mentality that says, wow, I got to get this now, even though I can't afford it. And there's this thing called credit that allows me to have something I want before I can actually afford it. And so many people in our society today go into huge amounts of debt because they're living over their means. So this happens right away with children. It grieves my heart to see parents who say, "You owe me something." It's much better if children aren't in this place of being a debtor to their parents. Now, sometimes parents will say, "Okay, you broke the window, now you owe me." And that's a different kind of debt, but it still creates this uncomfortable feeling. So you might use that as a consequence. It says, you need to pay this off. But I would encourage you, do it as quickly as possible, because that financial obligation that it exists puts a weight on the relationship, and you don't want anything to be hindering the relational component of your parenting with this child. You want to have a close relationship. So yes, there are times when maybe your child's in debt to you because they broke something and you're making them pay for it or something, but and that's okay. We may do that, but just be careful. Try to get it paid off as soon as possible. Sometimes parents, this child's broken so many things that their debt is so large that they'll never pay it all back, and it creates this lack of hope that children have. And we've got to have a different plan. Probably the plan is going to be very different. And instead of having children do all of this restitution that's so large, we're going to reduce that debt somehow so that children can be trained still to see that their actions have consequences, but we don't set this barrier between the relationship, in the relationship between the parent and child. It's so challenging to place this child in this debtor relationship that you want to look for ways to avoid putting your child in debt to you. It's better if you say, "I know it's on sale." That's why you save money in advance. You're going to have to miss the sale. It's going to cost you twice as much, but you're going to pay for it yourself. I'll provide you ways to earn the money so that you can save up money for it, but I'm not going to front you the money in advance. That kind of loaning to children we can avoid, and we want to be careful that it doesn't interrupt the relationship that we have with our kids.